Hello, everybody. Let me introduce myself briefly to you first. My name is Tawfiq Hamid. I'm a medical doctor, educationalist as well, and I was a member of a radical Islamic group, Jama'ah Islamiyah, years ago, 40 years ago, and I left them actually after 2 years of joining them and started some form of reformation within the religion. And later on, I created something called the multidimensional learning model, which is a model for education and learning that uses cognitive psychology in certain ways to enhance and improve the process of learning. I realized after all these years that the problem with radicalism is not just simply in the religious text. You can have the same religious text, and through certain processing of information, you can either have a violent act or a peaceful act at the end. It depends significantly to the processing of information in our human brains. That's why I created a new system called One Humanity Education Program. It's a program that aims at focus at on this step, on the processing of information itself, rather than discussing what is in the religious text. I have other programs to deal with radicalism, but this one humanity education, its ultimate focus is on the processing of information in our human brain. With One Humanity Education, I try to focus on the thinking traits that breeds or leads to radicalism. Like, I found out that many radicals in different faiths, beliefs, have certain traits in their brain, or thinking traits, like absolutism, judgmentalism, literalism. I analyzed many of them, and I'm giving here just a few examples how changing the ways of thinking of the radicals, or the cognitive process, or the processing of information in the brain, can help significantly with fighting radicalism. So let us say with absolutism, many people think they have the ultimate truth and all others are absolutely wrong. Also with judgmentalism, I will not go and kill someone or throw a bomb on them unless I hate him or them first. So to judge someone as he's bad person or evil in the beginning really of the situation of terrorism later on. Literalism, when I read words in the religious text, if my way of thinking is very literal, I can take it in a way that can really cause serious harm to the others. But if I don't think in a very literal manner, things can change completely. Let me just show you in One Humanity Education how I use things like optical illusions, for example, to make people deal with the issue of absolutism and realize that they are not the ones who have the ultimate truth. So I present this image, and let us say we have a story here that some people are fighting. One is saying it is Satan, satanic, or devil, and someone else on the other side saying, no, it is an image for an angel. Then I show the person who believes that it is Satan or a devil in its shape, the image from the other side, and make them reach the conclusion through a process called the generation effect, which is very effective way in education to reach the conclusion that they are not the only ones who have the ultimate knowledge, and others can really give a completely different angle that could be true as well. Also, I use things like examples, illustrative examples, like in this situation we have the concept of being good or righteous at point 100. We have Adam at point 90, Susan at point 10. Many people will think, oh, Adam is good and great and better than Susan. But if we realize that Adam has started at point 100 and Susan has started at point 0, now we will realize that Adam was actually moving backward and Susan is moving forward. So in this situation, Susan might be better. So the aim here is to teach people that being judgmental is completely unfair and inaccurate, because we don't have all the knowledge around the person or people. The same here with literalism. Many radicals think in a very literal way. So giving parables or examples such as this one, that if my teacher in the medical school told us that if you find someone who is drowsy or sick, give him some water because likely they are dehydrated. In this situation, if I gave this person water while he's in coma, he will die because water will go into his trachea and it can cause major troubles. So the aim here is to bring people from literalism to understand things differently. Here is the aim, or the whole aim of medicine is to save human lives. So giving him water and applying what my teacher taught me literally can end in loss of life, not saving life. So in such situation, being literal can be destructive, can cause loss of life. And on the other hand, thinking at the concept level or thinking beyond the words can be the solution. All these features, such as absolutism, or the judgmentalism, or the concept of literalism, all plays major parts in creating the mindset of radicals, whom I was personally one of them at some stage of my life. Then I would like to add another layer or another dimension, which is how I use the multi-dimension learning model, which is a model that I developed in 1996 in New Zealand, and it was published in several journals in America here. And it's all about how to use effective cognitive psychology and educational tactics to improve the process of learning. And this model was published, as I mentioned, in several places. And let me give you a simple example. There are many examples, but this can show how, after creating the concept and giving it like a flesh with certain focus on one of the traits of radicalism, I take it to another level of making sure that the educational tactic itself is effective and efficient to deliver the information, not simply to our human brains, but to make it reach our long-term memory, for example. Here is one of the concepts in memory and education, that from the sensory register, which is eye or ear, whatever, we need a process of attention to make the information reach the short-term memory. Then we need a process of rehearsal within the critical 30 seconds to make the information reach the long-term memory stores. So at the end, with using such tactics, in addition to using effective or specific concepts to deal with the foundations of radicalism in human mind, I created a system that I called One Humanity Education, that focused not on the religious text, but on the processing of information in our human brain and mind, and how to deliver the concepts here in an effective educational manner to reach the human brain and to make it part of the way of thinking of the individual. One Humanity Education can be done via educational systems globally, can be in the form of activity books for children, we can create TV videos, for example, or videos on social media to teach people different ways of thinking that can help them get out of the concept of radicalism. So this is just a brief introduction to One Humanity Education, and I will be delighted to discuss this further with anyone who might be interested to help in taking this concept further and making the world better. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.